Many thanks for staying with us. Now, the African Democratic Congress says claims that INEC has confirmed a list of its state chairmen are entirely false. In a statement on Sunday, the party's spokesman, Bolaji Abdullahi, described the report as fake news meant to destabilize the party. He clarified that no such confirmation has been issued by INEC, either officially or unofficially. According to him, only lists submitted through the proper party channels after due process are recognized. Now, this clarification comes amid internal wrangling over leadership, including legal battles involving former Senate President David Mark. Right now, Professor Simeon Nnah joins us now for more on the ADC internal politics. Thank you so much, Professor Nnah, for joining us right now. Now, tell us, what does the ongoing leadership crisis within the ADC reveal about the state of internal democracy in Nigerian political parties? I mean, what impact do unresolved factional disputes have to play in all of this?
It's a no-brainer that what is going on is the hand of Esau and the voice of Jacob. You will recall that when the opposition moved to SDP, to use it as a launching pad for 2027, SDP started having crisis. Immediately, they left SDP for ADC. ADC that has never had problem started having these problems. So you know where this problem is coming from. It is being sponsored. You and I knows where it's coming from. So you don't need me to tell you where the crisis is coming from. So, well, you see, INEC have said they are going to register new political parties. About 14 of them have scaled through the first hurdle. Let's believe that some of them will scale through the second hurdle and get registered so that we have properly registered parties. However, let me say this. Again, we know that the Supreme Court has given a ruling, one or two occasions, that it is only the political party that decides political office holders who holds those offices. It is not the court, it is not INEC. It is the political parties that determines that. So I think going forward, if ADC comes up to say, these are our leaders, the courts will not come in to say, no, you cannot claim these people are your leaders. I listened to even the spokesperson yesterday on another channel, and he said, I'm quoting him, that even the people that are causing the crisis now and going to court, that they know that they don't have the kind of funds to go to court. So they are being sponsored to do that.
So, Professor Nnah, tell me, what does this tell us? Well, what does this say about Nigeria's democracy if for every party that seems to have been an opposition, there's one factional issue in there, from Labour Party to SDP and now to the ADC? What does that tell? What does that say about Nigeria's democracy at the moment?
What it says about Nigerian democracy is that the ruling party, so to speak, wants to make it a one-party system so that all the other opposition will be destabilized. Going forward to the election, you just have one major party and others will be crawling to pick the crumbs from the table. That's in fact the plan on ground. But Nigeria is so large that might be a very tall order as far as I'm concerned. That might be a very tall order. That is where it's tending to, but I can tell you for free, and you can go to the bank with it. It's going to be a very tall order for anybody to do that. You can do that for smaller countries like Togo, like the Republic of Benin, but in Nigeria, the country is so complex that to pull that string, hey, you have to be up there to do that. I think it's going to be an uphill task. for the ruling party.
Now, Professor, tell me, what impact do unresolved factional disputes have on the party's, ability to build trust among voters and attract, credible candidates? Looking at the ADC's recent internal wrangling, what steps can, smaller parties take to avoid being in this same situation?
Well, the only step they can take is to try to resolve the internal problems. And maybe take a bold step. If they see a mole within them, they sanction them instantly and ask them to leave the party. That's the only way out. Because if they go with these rancors into an election, I can bet you that, like somebody said, I don't want to mention him, that before the wife of the opposition serves breakfast, that election has been won by the ruling party. So the truth is that these parties should put their house in order, because if they continue like this in 2026 and going to 2027, forget it. It is as good as they are not contesting that election. So the right thing for them to do now is to flush out all the moles within them. Show them the way out of the party, and that's it.
All right, Professor, before I let you go, I mean, let me just ask you this question, because looking at what's happening with the SDP, the LP, the ADC, what's your projection for 2027? Which of these parties do you think might just be good enough to give APC a run for their money?
This is a tall order. However, if the ADC can keep their house in order, I think they can give the ruling party a run for their money. Again, the ADA is coming up. Don't forget, that is the promoters of ADC that is forming ADA. They are using that as a launching pad if this fails, or something like a second party they can fall back on if ADC fails with what is going on. So if that happens, then it might be ADA that will do that. But if they are able to solve their problems before next year, then the ADC is good to go. The PDP is in an intensive care unit. I don't see them pulling any strings, because even as we speak, we learned that they are begging the Labour Party presidential candidate in the last election to come back to PDP. We learned that they are begging the former president to come back and pick the ticket, and a whole lot of things is going on there. The Oyo State governor right away is equally bidding to pick the ticket for that election. So you can see that even with the crisis they have on ground, that they are not a party that can give APC a run for their money. So it's either the ADC or the ADA.
All right. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Professor Simeon Nnah, for having this conversation with us.